Not sure if I'm on yet, but if I am, bear with me, please. One moment while I just check the different feeds, multi-streaming, which means I'm on a few different platforms. And I just have to check that I am coming through loud and clear and I can see everyone's messages and that I am sitting in the right place. For example, on Instagram, I am slightly off center, which is the way. I think it's this way I go. So let's see if that worked. Okay, it's all looking good. No, it went the wrong way. Right. How are you? Good? All well? I hope it is. It's all right if it's not, but I hope it is. Right, time for a bit of meditation. I do these daily meditations as part of the further emergence work that I do. I'll explain about further emergence at the end of the meditation when we're finished. But for now, we'll just get into it. It's not a class, it's just a chance to meditate together. So if you are familiar with meditation, that's great. But if you could just hang on for a minute while I explain what I do, just for the benefit of people who are new to meditation. Because meditation is funny in that people have this idea that they should just know how to do it. Like that it's, you know, something to be embarrassed about if you don't know how to do it. And I'm basing that on people saying to me quietly, you know, behind their hand, what do you actually do? So there's lots of different styles of meditation. This is just what I do. For me, it starts with why I would meditate. I'm trying to connect with a part of me that I connect to every night, just not consciously, when I'm asleep. Not the dreaming bit, the bit after dreaming. So I'm going along and I'm dreaming, and then I drop at the bottom and dreaming into deep dreamless sleep, which I find very mysterious and a very interesting place because I've no thoughts there. I've got no memory of being there. I've got no body, no stories, no country, no nothing. I don't even have me. Like, I cease to exist in the way that I normally register that I exist. So, you know, when I put it like that, it's kind of like death, which sounds awful. But I love going to sleep. And when I wake up in the morning, I feel refreshed. So some part of me knows that that is a good place that I go to. And that's the place I want to go to when I'm meditating. I just want to do it consciously. So straight away, if you're new to meditation, don't do this lying down. Because if you lie down and you close your eyes, your body will go, oh, it's time for sleep, obviously. So you'll either fall asleep or you'll battle sleep. Neither of which is what we're trying to do. So yeah, sit up. You can sit in the lotus position if you're comfortable. If you're not, I'm just sitting in a chair. If you're sitting in a chair, don't sit in a chair that's super comfortable that you might fall asleep in, or you're just back to, it's the same as lying down. So as I say, I've got no memories or thoughts of being there, so it's not really a place that my mind can go. So I have to figure out a way to sort of part the curtains of my mind to get into this place that it's my intention to go to in my meditation. So what I do is I make a little arrangement with my mind where I basically say, hey, could you just not think for the next 15 minutes because we want to do some meditation. And at this stage, my mind is pretty behind the idea. It wasn't always, but it is pretty much okay with it now. So that's good. It's good to have the mind on board. Then to stop thinking, that's relatively easy. It's easy to stop. It's not so easy to maintain it, but it's easy to stop. Because regardless of what the content of my thoughts are, what I'm thinking about, the structure of my thoughts is just pictures and sound. So if I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound, that's it, I'm not thinking. So that's great. And then as soon as I do that, I'm into the practice of meditation. And the practice of meditation is slightly different and runs parallel with my intention, the intention of my meditation. So the intention is to go to this deep, mysterious, still, you know, the sort of words that are used to describe meditation: calm, peaceful, Zen-like, possibly eternal place. The practice of meditation starts when I turn off the pictures and turn off the sound, when I stop thinking. And it kind of goes, I'll stop thinking, then a little bit of time will pass and I'll discover that I'm thinking again. So I go, oh, I'm thinking again. Turn off the pictures, turn off the sound, a little bit more time will pass. I'll discover I'm thinking again. So I go, oh, turn off the pictures, turn off the sound. A little bit more time will pass. I'll discover that I'm thinking again. So I'm thinking again. Turn off the pictures, turn off the sound, and so on. Just repeatedly bringing my mind back to not thinking whenever I discover that I am thinking. And I'm sort of alerting you to that because quite a few people have said to me, no, I tried meditation. It's not for me. It's not my thing. I tried it once and I was just thinking the whole time. I've got a very busy mind. It's not my thing. Which is sad because nobody's mind is any busier than anybody else's as far as I can see. And it's also missing, or it's a misconception that when you meditate, you know, if your mind was like a lake, that there wouldn't be a ripple of thought on it, which isn't the case at all. It's more of a dance between these two, the intention of meditation and the practice. So sometimes I'll be very deep and still and there'll be nothing going on, and then other times I'll discover that I'm thinking, and both are powerful. It's powerful when you go to that place, and it's equally powerful every time you discover that you're thinking, because if you're like me, you'll be thinking about things to do with you and that are very personal, and you know, why did I do that, or what am I going to do about this other thing? And then if I discover that I'm meditating and go, oh, I'm thinking, I'll turn off the pictures and turn off the sound. So I stop that thought and I erase it, really. What I'm indirectly saying is, you know that thought you just had that you thought was you and you were all caught up in? Well, you just made that disappear. So you're not that thought. In fact, you're not any of your thoughts. You're something else, something completely different. So that's very powerful. And then the fact that you do that repeatedly, that's very powerful as well. So both are powerful. So if you find that you're thinking a lot, or you feel like you're thinking a lot, that's fine. Don't add to your thinking by thinking you're doing it wrong or you're bad at meditation. Some days it can feel very thoughtful and other days not. And it doesn't really matter. Just as long as every time you discover that you're thinking, that you bring yourself back to not thinking, you'll be doing great. Right. Now, while all that's going on, I'm also letting go of tension in my body. So I sort of scan my body from my head to my feet and back up again very gently, very slowly. And anywhere I find tension, I let it go. And I use my out breath to do that because it's natural to just, you know, to let the tension go using my out breath. But it's also a good way to remember to breathe because, surprisingly, it's quite easy to hold your breath in meditation or forget to breathe altogether. So using the out breath is a good way of reminding myself to keep breathing. As I'm scanning my body up and down, I'm paying particular attention to any structures that go across my body, because mostly my body runs longitudinally, but anywhere that goes across, any structures that go across my body, they act a little bit like a log going across a stream. You know, they accumulate all the branches and the twigs and anything that's coming down the river, except for me, they accumulate tension. So I'm paying particular attention to my eyes, my jaw, my tongue, base of my neck, shoulder girdle, all my joints, because they are all transverse, shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers, my heart area, my respiratory diaphragm, all my intestines, my pelvic floor, my hips, my knees, my ankles, and my toes. If you're new to meditation, a nice... somebody's asking, do you have a spiritual belief with this? It's not required. That's not necessary. You can keep whatever spiritual belief you have. A nice quiet room, if you're new to meditation, nice quiet room, that is very helpful, because once you close your eyes, your hearing amplifies and you'll hear things that you wouldn't have heard before. And little noises like that are triggers for thoughts. So a nice quiet room where you're not going to be disturbed is very helpful for helping your mind out. And the other thing I do to help my mind out is I set a timer. So without setting a timer, my mind will just be wondering how much time has passed, and I'll want to keep checking my watch. So I'm going to set mine for 15 minutes. If you are just starting, I'd set it for less time. Set it for 5 minutes and then just repeat that 3 times, because 15 minutes is a long time if you're not used to it. All right, now let me just check if there are any other questions. Did the spiritual one? No. Anything on Facebook? No. Okay, so let me get my timer organized. off we go into the mystery. feel like you've gone very deeply inside and you need a bit of time to come back from there, then take your time before you open your eyes. Or if you feel like you can hold the inner space and the outer space at the same time, then just open your eyes. And if when you do that you lose it, you feel like you lose the inner space, then just close your eyes again, check in, oh yeah, there it is, open your eyes again. You feel like you lose it, up, check it, back and forth, until you feel like you've equalized the two and you can hold them together. So as I said, this is these meditations are part of the further emergence work that I do. Further emergence is about growth, and specifically inner growth, which continues on, long after your body stops growing. But in the same way that your body might have gone through growth spurts as you were growing up, either as a child or an adolescent, you can go through accelerated periods of growth, inner growth, or growth spurts, inner growth spurts. And that's what further emergence is about. It's about helping with that, because there's a lot of it going on at the moment. There's a lot of accelerated inner growth going on. In its kind of extreme version, it can manifest as like a feeling of disorientation. People describe it to me like, I woke up one day and my life just didn't fit me anymore, or I didn't fit in my life, or I couldn't really recognize myself in my life, or can manifest as physical symptoms, debilitating, not life-threatening, but just debilitating symptoms that have the effect of pausing your life, pressing the pause button on your life. That's another way it can manifest. It can be a feeling of isolation and nobody really gets me and no one's really interested in these things that I'm interested in. Not like, all my friends are not interested in water sports or hockey or whatever, but just like my perspectives and the way I'm seeing things. People are looking at me like I'm crazy. So I do these meditations to help, because knowing your inner landscape is very helpful with that kind of process. I do Zoom groups every week. I do a Zoom group to help with that feeling of isolation and to connect with other people and see, oh yeah, I'm not on my own with this. They're on Fridays. And then I work with people one-to-one. Like today, for example, is a day where I work with people one-to-one. So I would have pretty much spent a lot of today meditating, because, it's a combination of conversation, talking, and remote work where I kind of work with the person behind the scenes, and that's the meditative bit. So yeah, that's further emergence. If that all resonates with you, then depending on what channel you like social media channel you like, there's a Further Emergence Instagram page, there's a Further Emergence Facebook page and YouTube channel, and then there's the website itself, Further Emergence, if you want to find out more about that. Okay, so thanks very much for meditating with me, and see you tomorrow for some more meditation. Bye.